AMG family, Mondo here. Hey, just wanted to make sure real quick before we get started that you guys have subscribed to the AMG podcast channel. Go below if you can't see it, look a little, scroll down, whatever you got to do. Hit that subscribe button. It helps us immensely here at the AMG podcast. The second thing we need you to do is turn on your notifications. That way, anytime we drop new content, you are the first to be notified. That way we can grow together. We can learn in life together and do life together. All right. So with that said, let's get to it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the AMG podcast. It's your guy Mondo here with another episode of Mondo World, showing you all who's been a part of the party since the beginning. And I've got one of my favorite people on earth, my guy, my boy, the one who cannot hide. He's tall and he's got a phenomenal beard. My boy, Jon Hartman. What's up, man?
Yo. Good to be part of Mondo's world for sure, man. Thanks for that intro. And yeah, the beard's real. It's I got an instant Halloween mask every year. It's just great.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, buddy.
It's so good to see you, man. And I'm glad to be able to catch up. What's cool is people who are watching are going to get pretty much a live catch up.
Yeah.
You know, because we haven't talked in a little bit. You know, we saw each other recently, but some months ago. Wait, was that a year ago? Hold on. Yeah.
It had to have been. I was in Orlando last year already.
Yeah. Dang, bro. It's been a year. Wow.
I was going to say, I think I saw you on the last tour, but no, we've done two tours since then.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, anyway, it's been a year. Time flies.
That's insane.
But this is part of the reason why I wanted to bring you on, man, because I think this is beautiful how, regardless of time, like we always pick up where we left off. We talked about that when we had lunch that day.
Yeah, man.
And it keeps clicking, man. But, you know, for those who don't know the relationship and why we're tight, how it happened, you know, why we have this relationship where we could just pick up where we left off. I kind of want to go back even before I met you, man. I think the parts that I know are pretty fascinating.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're kind of similar to me in the sense that like we're like Forrest Gump part 2 and 3.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah, you dump us off in Vietnam, that's what we are. You dump us off at like Studio 54, that's what we got.
That's where we are.
Like, it don't matter for sure.
Yeah, man. And I think your life is fascinating. It always looks one way when you're outside looking in versus being the main character. We know that. But I would love to hear from you, and I'm sure I'll learn something new today. I'm sure I will. But so let's go back, yank back. I know, number one, you're a huge Hawkeye fan.
I grew up in Iowa. I spent some time in Iowa for sure.
I spent some time in Iowa. Yep, that is
Big 10, baby. Big 10.
Big 10. Yeah. Yep. So, all right. So from Iowa, spent some time there. You know, was it a lot of your childhood?
17 years I was in Iowa. First 17 years of my life, I was in Iowa. Yep.
Okay. So now then at that point, you made a hard left turn, homie.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Like
I'll say I was raised in Iowa, but I grew up everywhere else.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like Iowa, I was along for the ride, got caught up in all the high school stuff and the this and the partying and like just life. But I always knew that for me, I could already see the future with those that are around me at that time being in Iowa. There's only so many options that you have. And I'm not bagging on Iowa. I'm not bagging on people that live in Iowa or any of the Midwestern states that we both came up on.
Sure. All right.
But for certain individuals, certain, you know, whatever, it's just like you can just kind of tell there's something else out there. And I knew that I had to get out of that area. My parents, God bless them, they moved me, they let me move down to Nashville when I was 17 years old in 1995. Basically I won't say get all dramatic and like save my life. I wasn't like, you know, slamming heroin or anything in high school. But it was like I could see the trajectory of where I was at and where I was going and who I was hanging with. And I also knew I wasn't going to be strong enough to not hang out with those people, that group of friends. So I took some steps. They helped me, like I said, move down here in February of 95 to Nashville.
So during that, what I found out though, during that time, this is before I got there, it's for like 4 or 5 years before I got there.
Yeah.
That was like the Mecca time, the the pop Christian music world. It was like
Dude.
that. It was like the 60s in Motown. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
bro.
Like,
Like, not to sound like the old dudes, but that was the jam back then. And like that section when I landed down here, because at that time in music, there wasn't a Christian band and a non-Christian band. You were in music and you were in a band and you were it's like there was not a big differentiator between U2 and DC Talk. Obviously, you talk to U2 people, and there is, but in the general market,
right,
you know,
right.
it was the same thing, and it was wide open. Everybody was excited, and the only thing that it could be argued still makes you a Christian band even today is just what your lyrics say, not
Right,
necessarily who
right.
you
Yeah,
are in and off the
yeah.
stage. Hello.
Nah, for
Uh,
real. I feel you. Yeah, yeah. I feel
but
you.
yeah, man, I moved down here and I had no agenda other than to not be in Iowa. So I was making it. I had a good
Yeah.
little circle of friends down here because a buddy of mine from Iowa had moved down like 2 years earlier,
Okay.
who was kind of involved in the music mix.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sat like a fly on the wall and just listened,
Mm,
watched, learned. I heard, when people walked in the room and they left the room, I heard what those people talked about them and what they said, and just kind of just
mm-hmm.
get in the landscape, so I can figure out who and where I need to be in the situation.
Mm,
Um, didn't ask for anything. I wanted a
yeah,
lot, but I didn't ask for anything.
yeah, yeah.
Just was there. Again, taking them 17, 18-year-old kid, like, what do I
But
really
time
have to
out,
offer?
man. Hold on, bro. We ain't gonna skate over that. Because I don't know many 17, 18-year olds that are even
Yes,
ready to go to college now,
for sure.
let alone move to a foreign city
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and just there, soaking it up,
Yeah,
living, meeting, all that good stuff, and just finding your legs.
yeah,
At 17,
yeah.
you can't vote, can't drink,
No, no,
like can't rent your own car. Like
no.
all it's just you're there. And I mean, the confidence that your parents had to have in you and the belief and
Yeah,
trust,
yeah.
that
Oh,
speaks volumes.
it's crazy, especially with where our kids are at now. Like Cruz is 22, lyrics. My son and my daughter's 19, and
Mhm.
it's like it's crazy that I'm like, baby, you're sitting here asking about putting stuff on your walls. I already moved out 2 years ago.
Right.
And
Yeah.
hello, I met your mom like before this. Like, it's like it's
Right, right,
crazy,
right.
but it was just kind of some of that. I don't know what it was. I think some of it honestly was me growing up as an only child
Sure.
and having to figure out where I fit in the mix and
Mm,
how to not. I don't want to say like be who they need me to be,
right,
but
right.
just kind of feel the room out and use that discernment to not necessarily push my own agenda down somebody else's throat. It's like, I'm just happy to be here, dude. Like, I'm not in Iowa
Mm,
right now. I'm not in high school. I can do almost, besides the things you just said, I can do almost anything else that I want to do.
right.
I have the love and support of my parents. I have a nice little friend group that's
Yeah.
in the music business. I mean, what else could I ask for?
There's something to be said for that, man. So about 5 years later, I made the same jump, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the point I want to make though is not about what I did. I think it's about people like us that make that
Yeah,
jump. And
yeah,
we make that move in a state of wonder
yeah,
versus worrying.
for sure, man.
There's a discovery aspect to the 17, 18, 19-year olds that we were
Yeah,
moving to a foreign city and not being worried. Literally
totally,
just a kid, literally a kid,
totally.
just one like I mean it's almost like we have imaginary friends and
Right.
we're just roaming the earth and meeting people and just
Oh,
like you
it's
said, just happy to be in the room.
totally, man. Yeah, I mean, it's a 2-year-old walking down to the edge of the water at the beach
Hmm.
and just having no concept how many things are 5 feet away from him that could kill him.
Yeah, that's
Because
exactly
you're
right.
just like, this is
Exactly.
great. Look at how beautiful this is. It's like you have no idea that there
Yeah.
are a million things that would eat your face off in that ocean if you go in for a little bit
That's
at the
so
wrong
true.
time.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
So there's something to
there
be
is
said
some
for that.
beauty in that, but there is also being at that spot and recognizing the beauty and the opportunity, but then also like it is a little scary. It can
It
be.
is.
There are some things out there that can get you.
Yep.
Um, but again, being with who I was at that time and the level that they were at, and
Hmm.
I've always hung out with people that are 6, 7, 8 years older than me. So
There
at
we go.
17, 18,
Yep.
they were the ripe old age of 24, 25,
Yep.
living their
Yep. Yep.
best life. But it was still just like, all right, I see how these people move. I see how these people move. I
Yeah.
see where they're going, where they're not going. And I just want to
Love it.
learn from it all and be
I
in the
love
room.
because yeah, because I've met some of those friends over the years,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
for sure.
And I see and have seen the bond, right?
Yeah,
Lifelong friends. You
yeah.
already know, like lifelong. And what's interesting is that as you're there in Nashville doing your thing, being in a room, great people, a good friend base, and then something happens. You
Mhm.
discover even, and not even just discover, but I guess affirm and confirm that you have a phenomenal skill in
Yeah,
singing.
yeah. I do like to sing.
You like to sing, and it's now
Yeah.
you probably knew it before, but now you're
Hmm.
in Nashville, you're in Music City, and I'm sure
Dude.
people are hearing you like, "Yo, dude,
Yeah.
you can blow, bro. Like,
Mhm.
like you can kill it." So,
Yeah.
at what point did you start taking yourself seriously as a singer, as an artist?
I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm 47 and I'm still like trying to
Not
take
taking it
myself
serious.
serious like that. Like I
Well,
know I'm
okay,
not saying I can't sing. I know I can sing. I love to sing, but it's still, the vibe is still
I know
like,
what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, bro. I'll let you know when I get there. But
Okay,
like,
so let me rephrase that question.
but no, it was years. I mean, because
Yeah.
and people would hear me sing, be like, oh, this, that, and the other. But I was just kind of protective about that because
Mm,
I saw everybody else at that time, especially coming into town with their demo tape, yes, tape,
yep.
or CD,
Yep.
and just the just the like, ugh, I'm
The
good.
yuck.
Like I'm
Yeah.
good. I don't like, so it just kind of turned me off to that. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get to know more about some of the business side of it,
Hmm.
some of the networking, like the
Hmm.
true networking, not
Right.
transactional, where I need you for this and you need me for this, so we're best friends.
Right.
Like that's part of it. And transactional relationships are great as long as both people know that they're in them.
Yeah. Right.
You're
Right.
good.
Exactly. Man, ain't that the truth? Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Right. And like, man, I'm cool. Like whatever. So
Yeah.
it was years. I kind of was I was it was very frustrating to me at that time that I could sing the crap out of any artist song, but I still
Mm.
didn't know what my voice was. I
Okay.
didn't know how to write or find my own melody or whatever. I'm an imitator. I can imitate almost anybody, as you know,
Right.
vocally and get really
Right.
close. But I just didn't feel like it was time for that part of me yet.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so I just kind of locked in the relationship, which now at our age we know is the most important thing ever.
Yes.
I
Yes.
just met with a guy that I've known since I was 14 years old.
Mm.
A guy named Dan Pitts, one of my
Mm.
mentors. Dan? It's
Oh
just
yeah.
like
Man.
it's crazy how you what it would have been like if going back all that time if I'd have been, hey Dan, here's my song, here's my
Right.
song. I
Right.
would have gotten like everybody else. And now it's like I can sit down with guys like Dan Pitts and others,
Yep.
and it's like, oh my gosh, there's a respect there. I
100%.
mean, and
But
going. So it
that's
wasn't
what.
until 2000, the year 2000, really.
Okay.
So I was here 95 to 2000, and then a guy asked me if I wanted to be in a band.
Just a guy.
And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's go. I didn't have the beard. I was still hip hop pop John all day
Okay.
long,
Yeah.
singing,
Uh-huh.
singing
Uh-huh.
Usher, and you name it. I was
Yeah.
Brian McKnight. I was all about it.
Yeah.
But here's kind of the Forrest Gump of who you and I are.
Hmm.
He's like, it's a rock band, but you can sing how you want to sing. And I'm like, okay, well, good, because I don't really know what that sounds like yet. So let's find out.
This is so good,
And
man. Yeah, I know.
yeah, I was like, cool, man. I can sound however I want. Can you let me know what that sounds like? Maybe, but then Claudia and I, my wife, we moved out. We didn't have no kids. Praise the Lord at the time. We moved out to Los Angeles, and started a band with this guy. We found three other people
Wow.
and started writing, figuring it out. We had some, in 2004, I think, we had one of our songs land on this TV show called One Tree Hill. And
Okay.
back
Yeah.
then, for that to happen was a miracle
Right.
because you had no outlets. What
Right.
we're doing right now is a distant imagination, let
Yep.
alone having something pop on socials or, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So somehow this guy got our song and we rode that hard.
I
Like
bet you
we
did.
were we were going on message boards before that was even a thing and be like, hey, what was the name of that song? Did anybody know the artist that played? And then we would get their email address, send them CDs, like burn CDs that I'm sitting here on my little tower. It was just all old school.
Oh
And then
man.
but it was working. And
Yeah.
so we did the whole, EPK, old electronic press
Oh.
kit, or the
Yep.
press kit with the folder and CD and
Older.
the pic, like all that
Oh
crap.
yeah.
And then Googled Google's around. Googled, bars, clubs, theaters,
Yep.
and just started hitting them up and literally sending mail to these venues.
Okay, dude, you've said so much in the last 10 minutes. It's crazy. Okay. So we're gonna park, man, because
All right, yeah,
let's talk about the grit. There's two things. Number one,
okay.
I want to talk about Claudia. I think this is a phenomenal part to bring her in.
Oh, bro,
Um, let's go there first. So with
okay,
Claudia,
yeah.
you guys started dating what,
I
17?
met her in the summer of '96.
Okay. So you guys are fresh out of high school or in high school
Bro,
ish.
I just turned 18. No, I just turned 19 when I met her. She was 21.
Okay, cool. So you guys are like fresh out of high school. She's been out a couple years. You
Chilling.
you guys are chilling. You guys get together. The support, like so a lady might be hearing this and like, oh, John
Yeah,
seems
yeah,
like a
yeah.
cool dude. His
Yeah.
wife must be. I mean,
Oh,
so she's either awesome or she's crazy. Like
right. Yeah,
because like she signed up for this,
right.
this this type of an approach to life. Talk
Yeah,
about
man.
what Claude has meant to you. Man, I already know, but just for everyone else, like what she has meant to you in this entire journey,
Man,
just
I
as
gotta
yeah.
okay. I gotta click out of the emotional state, otherwise I'm gonna start blabbing and blubbering all over the spot. But I mean, what Claude has meant to me, and
Mm,
I'll say my process with all of this craziness,
yeah.
it's hands down besides second to God, like it's the most important relationship and person that I have in my life. Like
Wow. That's beautiful.
to be there for me, to believe in something. It's hard sometimes for me to believe in it, and I
Mm,
can see it and hear it and picture how it works,
yep.
and it's still tough for me on certain days. So for Claudia, who can't sometimes without me going into great explanation, and that's not because that's just most people.
Well,
I can
sure.
see
Right.
something starting, I can see the end, I can
Right.
see everything in the middle. It's done to me
Sure.
already.
Hmm.
But to bring her these harebrained things, especially the band, like that, I would love to say that we were ministry focused and like all that kind of stuff. It wasn't. We weren't crazy. We were, again, nothing nuts,
Yeah.
but we were a mainstream rock band in clubs and theaters, bars, festivals. Like
Yeah.
not the breeding ground for healthy marriages.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let alone you add a little bit of celebrity or thought of celebrity, and so but everything that Claudia and I have done together, even when we're apart, it starts with, what do you think?
Mm,
And, we talk about it. And we might not be completely on the same page with some of these decisions, but we're in the same book. And we know that whew,
I feel you. I feel you, man. Yeah.
we know the ending of our book has to be John and Claudia happily ever after.
Mm,
So we might be on different pages, right? But we're on the same book. And it's like, man, I think I need to do this, baby. Whew, man, that puts us pages apart, right? But remember, I'm always out there focused on you and making sure that I can come home,
yeah.
that I'm
For
not
real.
doing anything to
Yeah.
mess up what I have here.
Yeah.
Because nobody is worth that. No
No.
experience, no nothing is worth that. So um she's been the go-to,
Mm,
the rock, all of the cliche things and more, but like to me,
Yeah,
everything. And
dude. Mhm.
most of the time, catching all of the stuff that I can't deal with because I'm gone. I'm out on the road.
Yeah.
Especially
Hmm.
back then in the band days, bro. Like I
Oh yeah.
wish I could tell you I was just sending home stacks of money. No. I
Mm.
was sending home nothing except, can you wait on groceries? Can you wait on rent? Hey,
Wow.
the tires blew out on our little bus for the band. Can you, ask your dad to give us $500? Those kind of things.
Wow. Wow.
But
Dude,
but the
that's a ride or die by like book definition. Like,
the belief is unbelievable. It's the belief is unbelievable
mm,
that I can do it, let
right.
alone somebody that is not getting to even enjoy. Like at least when I was in the band and I was gone, like we had movie days, we had 5 days off sometimes. I was kicking it. She was at home
Yeah.
with two kids,
Right.
you
Right.
know, and it's
Yep.
like that it was a tough time, no doubt about it. But the grind and the belief.
Mm.
What's so crazy is skip forward towards the end of the band. Like we said, we're gonna give it 10 years.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna go all in from 2000 to 2010. And we made the decision in the middle of that. Hey, do we wait until this is done or to the next level,
Right.
or do we have kids in the middle of this and we figure it out? And
Mm.
we chose to have kids,
Yep.
and I'm glad we did because now they're old and almost gone, and it's gonna be the best thing ever. It's gonna be great. Um, so, but at the end of that 10 years, ten
Yeah.
years of me being gone 4 months at a time
Wow.
with no money, no like light at the end of the tunnel. We're just doing this.
Right.
When I told her that we got to the end and I said I felt like the time is done,
Uh-huh.
she was scared. She didn't want me to stop because she was like, well, what about all this time? What about this belief? That's
Right.
you're giving up on your dream.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other line. It's like, no, baby, like you're my dream.
Ooh.
Having
Ooh.
having the kids,
That's a whole record right
right?
there.
Having the kids like they know my name when I come home. I'm not worried about you talking too much trash about me when I'm out and about.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's just like, dude, I already have the dream. This is all fantasy that I'm chasing.
Man, oh man. Gosh.
Yeah.
So, whoo, yeah. See, you're about to get me. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have to pivot. Love you, Claudia,
Yeah.
but
All
we
right.
we're going to change
I
it.
love it. Claudia, I love you. You're great.
We got to change. It's about to be
Yeah,
some
man.
hot mess in here.
Yeah,
Uh,
dude. Same.
you
Hey,
know,
goodbye.
I,
Okay. Hold on.
it's so crazy, man, because some people would hear the story and are like, wow, that's cool, or that sounds
Yeah.
crazy, or I don't know if I could. But you know what, man? The bond that I've seen you two have
Mhm.
since I've known you
Yeah.
and the mission that you guys have been on since then, dude, that 10 years was phenomenal groundwork for your
Oh, yeah.
relationship.
For
I
sure.
mean, dude, at that point, dude, that is probably the most challenging situation, especially for a newly married couple with babies.
Totally, bro.
And you guys rocked it out. Not saying that it was peachy 24/7,
Nope.
but to your point, the end of the book is
Yeah.
happily ever after.
Yeah.
And the fact that
As long as we are moving towards that being the end of our book always,
yep,
and I'm willing to back out of a page, go back a page, go back three
mhm,
pages, as
yep,
long as it's a choose our own story, because it is a choose our own story life.
yep,
We do have choices every day that we can make, that you and Selena, that Claudia and I stay
yep,
together.
yep,
Every day there's choices. It's a choose your own adventure, a thousand
yep.
percent. But yeah, it's
I
got to
mean,
be the happily ever after of us walking off. Like that's got to be the end of the book.
dude, I love there's one saying that I heard you say, dude, it had to be like 2009 or 10 or whatever. It was early on in our friendship.
Uh
And
huh.
I've carried it since then. And it kind of goes to what you were just saying. You were talking about just how like, every decision day by day is important. Like
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
choices. And in your conversation, you're like for instance, dude, like I'm 1 6 pack away from making a bad decision.
Dude,
Like,
1000%. It's so true. It's so true. And yeah, it's like, bro, that's all anything
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Is it's that far away from just completely disintegrating into nothing.
Yes. Is that close? and
It
proximity.
is, man.
It really
It,
is. And I love that, dude. Because if you look at that whole journey, man, and then you're like, all right, cool, 10 years is up, you have to talk with Claude.
yep,
All right, we're packing the bags. I'm
yep.
coming home, this and that. And I
Mhm.
believe, wasn't it, how long was it before that time you came home and we met? It was like within a month.
Yeah, it wasn't that long at all. We moved back in summer of 10. I
Yeah.
think maybe it was
Yeah.
9.
Yeah. I
I
think
don't
it was 10.
remember.
I think it was 10. Yeah.
Okay, it was 10, and then yeah, no, shortly after that, you and I connected on some stuff,
Mhm.
and I was just coming out of the band. I'm like,
Right.
what, re-entry. Like, okay, well, now what? And I
Mhm.
literally was just like, getting hit with all the songwriting, pub deal, song like, you should do this, you should start another band, blah blah blah. And I just felt like God was saying, take a step back,
Yeah.
take a step out,
Mhm. Yeah.
and refresh, because you don't want to trade one animal of a band and a chase
Yeah.
for another
Yeah.
animal of the songwriter trying to get the song.
Yep.
You need to do something to honestly not prove to Claude, but prove to me that I'm
Yeah.
willing to do what I said I was willing to do, and just do whatever that is.
Yeah. And here's the pivot. Like you're the king of pivot, bro. Like
Oh, dude, I'm all about
yeah,
it.
like yeah, like the king of pivot, man. And
uh,
so we end up meeting and through a mutual friend
yep,
or acquaintance, so how I can't remember, but whatever. We end up
yep.
meeting at a bakery at Marity's. And
Marrieds, baby.
and that was where the connection happened. The next thing, I mean,
Yep.
I mean, right away, we were like just connecting, hanging out, getting to know each other. I mean, it was like there was no pause. It was like,
No.
hey, what's up? I'm Mondo. I'm Jon. Talk for a little bit. Yeah, what you doing in the morning? You know what I mean? It was like
Totally. Yeah.
yeah. And the next thing you know, we're getting our own Forrest Gump story on together,
Dude,
where
let's go.
dude, I mean, kind of fly through stuff, but from, writing songs, meeting people, introducing, our circles to each other.
Yeah.
I'm meeting
Yeah.
your people, you're meeting my people. I'm
Yeah.
producing records, you're coming in and songwriting, singing backgrounds. You've got people over here. You're like, hey man, Mondo, you and I can
Totally.
produce this for these people. I mean, it was just a
Yeah, man.
lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
We created a children's music company that we
Yep.
started, the K5 kids, and we were doing our
You know
thing
it. Yep.
and making that happen from animation to music and all that.
Bro, back then, nothing. Like other than what's in here and like
Yeah.
what we had resource, but it just to be clear, everybody listening, it ain't like we had this pile of money that we were just trying to get
Oh
rid
no.
of and spend
No,
on all this stuff.
we was a Baroque.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, it was everything. It
Yeah,
was
I mean,
everything.
yeah,
But
we were
yeah,
on Struggle Street. Like at least I'm gonna speak for myself. I was on Struggle Street.
bro, I was there. I was mayor of Struggle Town. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but that's what was cool when I met you, is that we were both in the same spot, but we both keep the same pace.
Right.
It, it,
Yeah.
it was a healthy, like, oh, okay, 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 okay.
Yeah.
And like I
Yeah.
said, you want to meet? Like, yeah, what are you doing right now? I,
Exactly.
I ain't trying to
Exactly.
talk next week.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't even
what's
know if I'm
cool.
gonna be alive next week. Let's
Exactly,
go.
bro. I don't know if that six pack's gonna appear or not. I don't know.
I might get thirsty between now and then. Who knows?
Exactly. It was crazy. Like we connect our wives, our kids.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
start hanging out as a fam. So then it just gets
yeah,
even thicker and really cool. And as time goes on, we're doing projects. We're having fun. We're living life. Again, we're working together and apart. Whatever we have to do
yeah,
to to keep the boat afloat for the fam.
for sure. Yep,
Whether we can help each other or it's something you got to go do or something like we in survival mode at this point, right?
absolutely.
And it was really cool how things developed because we were doing the kids music stuff, and then next thing you know, we're meeting all these people in ministry that we didn't know,
Yeah.
and now we're on a flight headed to Cambodia.
Mhm. Dude, I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm embarrassed to say I didn't forget about Cambodia, but I forgot that's even part of the story.
I
Like, holy
know.
crap! You're right. We
Dude,
went to Cambodia.
so we're doing children's records and Christian music,
Yep.
and we meet some pastors, and we're like, you know what, Jon and I had the heart to give and to support, and we found out about an organization in Cambodia that was rescuing young girls from
Yep.
sex trafficking,
Yep.
and we say, you know what, how can we utilize our gift? And Jon had the great idea of, hey, what if we produce a record and we give 100% of the proceeds to this home because every year they're doing a fundraiser. You know, they got to take care of these girls, they got to restore
All
them,
the
they got to
time.
feed them,
Yep.
all that. So, and we can call it like her 100%. Like we just do the record
Yep.
and we give her 100% of all proceeds from this project, partner with
Yep.
churches, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean,
Yeah.
it was great because it's like you were coming out with these fire ideas. I'm like, yeah, let's add that. You're like, yeah, that's cool. But you really kind of spearheaded that.
Mm.
And I was like, all right, cool. Like, all right, yep, you know, okay, yeah. And it's like,
Let's
you know,
go.
it was because when your mind gets going and locked in on an idea, man, you better buckle up by somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because
You're right.
He's running. And so, you know, I'm right there on your hip, like, all right, dude, okay, I
Yep.
got my part. I'll produce the record, I'll do this, and then
Yep.
we'll produce it together, but I'll do my part of the
No,
music,
no, it was
production,
you
and
for sure.
engineering, and all that kind of stuff or whatever.
Yep.
And it ended up, it was funny because one of the pastors we were working with is based out of Australia. And in one of the conversations, we met her at a hotel in the lobby, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
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 And part of the request was that we need to come over to Cambodia to see what we're contributing to. And we walked back to the car afterwards, like, I guess we're going to Cambodia. And I'm like, yeah, where is that? Hold on, let me
Yeah. Where
let me,
exactly? Where is that? Okay.
let me get a map. Okay, see, all right, that's not oh,
Oh, that's past Texas.
yeah,
Got
that's
it.
yeah.
Okay.
That's not
Got it.
Cleveland. Okay, cool. That's over in Southeast Asia. Like, okay, cool.
Bro,
So
that was
we end up
crazy.
going. I mean, the brotherhood got even tighter then, man, because it
Oh,
was
dude.
without getting too deep into the craziness of that trip. It was beautiful and
Yeah.
crazy.
That was eye opening
Yes.
all day long. I still think about that. Not every day, but a lot.
Yes. And I'll go there because it's, you know, whatever. I think
Yeah.
the beautiful part, it was what we were able to do for the
Yeah.
home and partner with the other NGOs that
Yep.
were there. And
Yep.
we were honored to be able to go to the home and meet the girls,
Yeah.
which wasn't something that they typically did,
Mm-mm.
especially men,
Yeah.
right?
Dude. Yeah, that
Um,
was a whole nother level.
yeah. And they range probably from 5 years old to 18, wouldn't you say,
Yeah.
on there?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and we had, you know, we had rules, you know, we couldn't video them and stuff like that. We were able
Yep.
to record them reading scripture and we made it a
Yep.
part of the record.
Yep.
So a lot of beautiful things happening with the reason why we went.
Yeah.
However, there's a flip side to when we weren't doing that part, the reality of parts of Phnom Penh, Cambodia,
Bro.
and the weight, the spiritual weight, the visual weight of what you
Yeah.
see when it is one of the hottest, unfortunately, hottest spots of sex trafficking in the world.
Sex tourism, they call it
Sex
over there.
tourism, yeah.
Yeah. Good
And
night.
the craziness, the nastiness, the stuff that's just wide open. It's like no one's hiding.
No, no.
You and I get dropped off from the airport around
Bro.
midnight.
The Hotel Lux.
Hotel Lux. Now, mind you, we're butt tired. We've been flying 15 and a half
Dude.
hours,
First of
right?
all, we had no business getting on a plane and just getting dropped off in Phnom Penh. You talk about standing at the ocean? Oh my gosh.
We
That
had
was
no idea, bro.
irresponsible at best.
That was probably the most poorly planned trip ever. Like
Holy crap.
from our part, we get off the plane, we land. I mean, we had to go a 15 and a half hour flight going from, you know, I think from Nashville, Chicago, then over to Seoul, Korea, 5 hours from Seoul, Korea to Phnom Penh. It was brutal.
And then some dude in a Buick picks us up.
Yep.
And ain't
And
no Uber, ain't no taxi. He just says you need a ride. Like,
right.
yeah, sure, man,
Sure.
let's go.
Yeah. And he takes us to Hotel Lux and we're rolling up. And it is literally, I'm
Bro.
like, this is the red light district on steroids.
Yeah,
And we're seeing stuff. Now it's midnight. It's like a Friday.
dude.
And it is lit with all the ignorance you can think of.
Everything,
And we get dropped off in the middle of that
dude.
at midnight, butt tired, been traveling for the last 24 plus hours. And we get there and we got Hotel Lux, and you and I are kind of like in disbelief. We don't know what to say. We're looking at each other like, let's get to our room. We can
Well,
unpack up
right
there.
away we walk in the lobby,
Yeah.
and there's two Western,
Yeah.
white Western males,
Yep.
probably our age now, with these two girls just sitting in like, and I say girls, I'm saying girls. They are
Girls.
not women.
Nope.
They are not young ladies. They
Nope.
are girls sitting in this hotel lobby, which it wasn't like a janky hotel. It was the place where it was kind of weird, but I think
Absolutely.
everything in Phnom Penh is crazy.
Yeah.
But it was like they're just sitting there talking. The two guys are talking. The girl, and
Yeah.
it was just like, what did we just walk into?
Craziness. Great dude.
And you remember what we did? Put our stuff up in the room.
Uh-huh.
We were starving.
Yep. Yep.
And we walked down
Mm-hmm.
and we got to the doors of the hotel and they had bike rack out front to kind of keep people out or whatnot. And
Yep.
you remember those two girls, 8, 9, 10 years old,
Mm-hmm.
come right up to us
Yep.
and they're asking us things. And you and I are like, I ain't leaving. Like these girls, they just want money or do
Yeah.
they think we're that?
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Exactly.
it was brutal, bro. I still get
It,
sick in my stomach and all shaky when I start thinking about that. Oof.
yeah. Yeah, I know, man. And we did a lot of documenting of the videos and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
And I remember there was nights that I would get it, it's when Skype was a big thing, right? Skype back
Yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah.
And we would have our calls with our wives, guys,
Yep.
and Selena, she would look at me and she said, "You look different." I said, "Because it's different
Mhm.
here." I don't know how Claude was looking at you, but Selena was like, "I don't
Tell me.
recognize you. Like, what's going on?" I was like, "You
Yeah,
don't want to
bro.
know. Like, you don't want to know. Like,
Yeah.
it is bad. Like,
Yep.
and just so many things that we experienced. Like I said, it was the beautiful side, but then it was a lot of
Mhm.
ugly.
Yeah.
And that's a story for another day. Just the craziness. I mean, when I saw that young girl sold next door, bro, and right in front of me, like that broke my heart.
Right.
It's still to the day. Like, and at the time, my girls were 5, 4, and 5. This girl was
Right.
5 years old. And
Yeah.
I literally saw her sold on the street at a coffee shop right on the patio, right in front
Yep.
of me. And
Yep.
stuff like that, guys, like you don't understand the level of evil that is out there. And that's just one aspect. But this junk is real. And John and
Yeah.
I were thrown into that, whatever you want to call it, that hot mess
Yep.
with no buffer, no, hey guys, before you go, there was none of that.
Right.
And so we're just like, at one point, man, we were like, we just need to get happy about something. And we were like, dude, let's go play golf and just beat the hell out of golf balls for a while.
Let's go.
so,
Let's do it.
so we got one of those little tuk-tuks or whatever it's called, right?
Oh yeah,
And
tuk baby.
yeah, and we went and found a little driving range, almost looked like a Top Golf kind of vibe.
It did.
And we were just beating the hell out of golf balls for a long time. I mean,
God,
because
remember they assigned everybody had a caddy.
yeah, that's right.
You had that little lady. She was a woman that was paid, just to be clear,
That's
to
right.
be there, dressed in pink, with a little hat. But
Yeah,
they put your tee down. They give you the right club. They do
that's
that.
right.
Like
We did play
that was
around.
kind
We
of
did. I
dope.
forgot about that. We did the Top Golf looking thing, but we did play around. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It was like a big netted because the golf course was in the middle of this like weird thing. It was Cambodia to the max. But yeah, we did play like 9 holes,
Yes,
and
that's right. I completely
but
forgot about that. And
yeah,
is
man.
that particular journey of Cambodia and I mean, the stuff with the boy on the street that you guys took to the village. I mean,
Yeah, that's a
guys,
whole nother
that's a
podcast
whole
on
nother
that one.
podcast, man. Like the stuff
Yeah.
where, oh my gosh, man. Where I could real quick, there's a quick story. I'll run fast on this. There was a young man that we were going to lunch one day, and he was on the side of the road. He was, brutally beaten. His food taken. I guess his leg was broken and a bunch of stuff. But
Yep.
he had to be like a teenager or something like that. And so John and some of the other people we were with took him to the clinic up the street. We didn't
Yep.
speak his language, but you guys had a translator with you.
Yep.
Well, then eventually, after some planning, got him some healing and taking care of bandage, whatever. But found out that he wasn't from Phnom Penh. He was from like another province or two
We
over,
were two bridges away.
2 bridges away. Well, those 2 bridges is like 2 massive counties.
Dude, it's like Brooklyn and Golden Gate. They ain't close.
Two
They ain't
bridges.
close.
Yeah. So you guys went out there and we captured video of. I still have it, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and didn't you say that when you guys got there, the people in the village
Oh,
they thought he was dead.
dude, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but when I worked for World Vision doing the pitch
Yeah.
with Big Daddy Weave and Danny Goki and Rant, like
Yes.
everybody,
Right.
that's the story I tell about
Mm.
taking a step. Because
Wow.
we found that boy on the street, and it would have been easy to just, give him some food, give him a dollar, give him some prayer, which is all great. But it
Mm-hmm.
was like, man, this kid needs help. And we did exactly what you said. And then come to
Mm-hmm.
find out, when we walked up, his parents, we didn't know there was his parents, but his parents looked at him like he was a ghost
Mm-hmm.
because he had been in Phnom Penh. We remember we were there. The reason why it was also so crazy is because it was the River Festival going on, the annual
Right. That's right.
huge thing where everybody from everywhere comes into Phnom Penh. And so this kid had gone into Phnom Penh the year before
Mm-hmm.
for the River Festival, and that was the year that this big bridge collapsed and all these people died and got washed away in the Mekong River and all this stuff. And the kid was just stuck in Phnom Penh
Yeah, because he was on that
until,
bridge.
yes, he
Yeah.
was on that bridge, and his parents just thought that he died, didn't come back, and
Yep.
then all of a sudden here's this guy and another blonde lady. I didn't have my beard and all that back then, but I might as well look like a circus freak compared to everybody else that was there.
Sure.
But
Sure.
and then we found out that story, and like, man, what if? What if I didn't take that one step? What if we didn't
Yep.
stop? What if we didn't ask the question?
Yep.
Yeah, it's heavy, bro. But I use that as my pitch story just to like, you don't have to do everything, but sometimes God doesn't need us to do anything. But I firmly believe sometimes He wants us to do something,
Yeah. Yeah.
just something, man.
Yeah. That's so good,
Right?
dude. That's so
Take a
good,
step.
man.
Take a
It,
step.
it
Open the door.
That's it, man. And there's so many other stories
Oh,
that we experienced there, and we can jump off of that. But it's
yeah,
so
yeah,
the little girl with the food we were given to, and found out where the food was going, and found out it wasn't going to her; it was going to her grandma.
bro.
Oh my God, just all the craziness. So that really forged a phenomenal, like, just like we brothers for life, bro. Like I knew we
Bro.
were before,
Yeah. No, I've been to Cambodia with that dude.
bruh. bruh, bruh. Hey,
That list is short of how many people I've been to Cambodia with. It's one.
yeah,
It's you.
yeah. I got one on all y'all. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Crazy.
It's so cool, man. And to come back from that and then to see how things have progressed. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, we come back, we do some things, this, that, and the other. Life starts
Yeah.
changing. Opportunities are opening up for you, opening up for
Yep.
me. We're starting to do
Yep.
our pivots. And
Yep.
what's so cool about our friendship, man, is like there was no explanation needed. It was like, Jon, go do it, man. Go get it. Do what you
Yeah.
got to do. And I know you felt
Yep.
the same for me. It was like,
Yep.
we were like, go get the bread, take care of your family, build this next season, be
Yeah.
Forrest Gump. Like, go
For
after
sure,
it.
dude.
So
Yeah.
then I look up, and you're doing a lot of stuff. But then the one thing that really caught my attention was you started producing TV shows.
Yeah.
And the show Nashville, because somebody told me, it's like, hey, aren't you friends with Jon Hartman? I was like, yeah. It's like, yeah, I was an extra over such and such, and he's one of the producers. I was like,
Yeah.
what? Like, that's how I
Mhm.
found out.
Yeah. I was in the locations department for 4.5, almost 5 seasons of Nashville. And it was the best thing ever because I'd never done anything like that kind of work. And so it would have been like, hey, I think I want to learn about football. And instead of, coaching the flag football team, I get dropped off for the Rams or the Patriots in
Right.
this huge
Right.
organization of Nashville with Lionsgate, 200 people on the cast and crew,
Yeah.
100 trucks, and we're moving and I'm just like, so right away I got dropped off in there, and it was such a huge advantage because to me that bigness and scale was normal.
You're right. You're
So
right.
every other thing, big or small, that I did, I took that huge scalability
Hmm.
and ran it like it was Lionsgate. Even if it
Yeah.
was a Tractor Supply commercial, I
Sure.
still set it up. I still built it. I still did all
Yep.
those things in that scale. But those 5 years on Nashville, man, if I could have worked them for free, I would have. What I learned from those incredible cast and crew,
Yeah. Yep.
especially from my old boss Wendell, like,
Yep.
dude, it just set me up for so many other things within the TV and film world.
Hey, I want to extract from that. So now if you're listening, you're like, okay, what I say? This guy really is Forrest Gump. I've heard. I moved to Nashville 17. And I'm just happy to be in a room.
Yeah,
gets married, starts having, has kids after the band starts, moved to
Yep.
LA, all that kind of stuff. And
Yep.
then does the 10 years, has kids, comes back, and he's happy to be in the room again. And then we meet, and then the
Yep.
journey, Cambodia, then kids music, and this and that, and then all these
Sure.
other TV commercials and all this other
Yep.
stuff, and then the show Nashville. Now that show Nashville, I would say has a big part to play on why Nashville is what it is today, as far as the market is concerned. It exposed,
Love it or hate it,
yeah,
100% yes.
it exposed the secret that we had for so long.
I know. I told everybody up until that show, Nashville has 90% of the big city stuff with 10% of the big city problems.
Problem. That's right.
Like you got, if you want to go spend $200 on a steak, it's got the spot for it. If you want to go buy a handbag, it's got the spot for it. And it only takes about 10 minutes to get everywhere.
Right.
Forget it,
Exactly.
bro. You need a dang helicopter pilot's license to get around this town now. It sucks.
Yeah, but that show played a big part in that,
Huge.
and how it scaled so quickly, and the tourism
Yep.
picked up and all that.
Yep.
So you're doing that show, blowing up, and obviously there's a lot of different things I know you've done in between commercials
Yeah.
and productions and all that.
Yeah. But
And
no,
then,
Nashville was it for sure.
so then, then I find out, I forgot how I found out. Maybe it was because you were posting stuff. I can't remember. That you were now producing theater
Yeah.
and productions, stage
Yep.
productions.
Yep.
I'm like, this dude is for us for real.
Man.
When
Well, from Nashville, I did a couple more small TV shows and then
okay,
got into movies. Went and did White Noise on Netflix,
okay.
$140 million budget movie. Shooting Stars with Chris Robinson on Peacock, the
See,
LeBron James
I'm
story.
learning stuff. See, I told you I was gonna learn something new. See, there
Yeah,
you go.
that was great. The call out of 2020, how I got back into TV and film was at the end of 2020. My friend and boss Wendell Hinkle said that they were shooting a legacy series down in Greenwood, Mississippi. Now this is at the end of 2020. Like nobody knows nothing from nothing.
Right, sure.
Everybody's also been sitting around since March, so you could
Right.
have said it was a mayonnaise commercial, and I would have been like, "Yeah, dude, I'm in. I've always wanted to do one. Like this is gonna be great."
I love mayonnaise.
Yeah, dude, who doesn't? I got some in the fridge right now.
Yeah.
I'll bring it. Um, and so that started the run. That series was called "Women of the Movement,"
Okay.
all about Mammy Till, Emmett Till's mom,
Oh,
Emmett Till's
nice.
mother, and
Yeah.
that was crazy. But then that got me into this nice run of other movies. And then the last TV show I did was Young Rock season 3
Yeah, I remember.
in,
Okay, I do remember
in
that. Yep.
Memphis. That
Yep.
was awesome, great, a huge production again. And like all TV shows and movies, they end, and
Yeah.
that season ended. And I'm driving back home from Memphis. Got out of there alive, praise the Lord. Uh, um, literally get home and I get a text message from my buddy Juan Otero,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, this lady, they got the show. They're looking for a tour manager. Do you think you could do that?" I'm like, "I'm out of a job. I can do anything. Yes, I'll do it.
Yeah, I know
Like,
that's
let's
right. Come
go."
on, Forrest. Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll figure that junk out. And so he connected me, talked on like a Wednesday text, and a Thursday I got on the phone with her. Name is Sarah Boland. Jon and Sarah Boland, founders of the Thorn, incredible, love them, would do anything for all things for them forever.
Yeah.
Uh but she's like, "Hey, so we got this thing. It's called Thorn. We've been in churches for the last 26 years. But the churches basically don't want us anymore because they don't know what they're doing with COVID. But I called like 15 packs, performing arts centers, and booked them. 9 of them
Mm,
came through. But we've never really done this before.
mm,
So can you
wow.
help us in
Oh,
on this level with real venues, labor, union schedules? They're on that church schedule where it's like, yeah, if it happens today, cool. If not, we'll get to it tomorrow."
pause, pause,
Yep.
pause.
Go ahead.
Brother, there's so many God moments in what you just said.
Oh,
When you
yeah.
okay, dude, if you're not connecting the dots right now, you're not listening. Like
Right.
the scale, you've
Mhm.
already experienced that with Nashville and
Totally.
other movies and TV shows,
Totally.
Young Rock, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
So you
Young Rock was probably bigger than Nashville.
yeah, so you've experienced the scale. Like big production, massive.
Huge.
That's every day for you now.
Yep, doesn't bother me a bit.
Being on the road. Well, that sounds familiar. In the beginning, it was a 10-year run on the road. I remember that.
Yep.
Okay, so definitely Claude is familiar with that.
Yep.
Your whole family unit, all the Hartmans are used to that.
Absolutely.
And what's even cooler is when I saw you in Orlando, came to the show, saw the Thorn. If you haven't seen it, you need to go see it. Check out
Go
the
see it.
website.
I'll be there. Let's do it.
Man,
Yeah.
Jon will be there. He'll take a picture with
Yep.
you. You can stroke his beard, whatever.
Yeah. Well, maybe not, but go ahead.
and what's really cool is like you're doing your thing on the road, and then you're like, yo, my son's here. What? Dude, for Cruz, your son, to be a part of he's not just tagging along with daddy. No, he's got
No.
a job on the production. Now he's getting his Forrest Gump on because
Yep.
he's seen dad do it at a high
Yep.
level. He's seen
Yep.
dad invest. He's seen dad sacrifice. He's seen mom invest and sacrifice.
Yeah.
He's been a part of the whole journey. And now he could be a part of it with you, not as a tag along, but as
Totally.
a valuable piece to the entire production.
Yep.
Bro, that had to make. I don't know how you just don't see him doing stuff and just walk away tearing up. I'm sure you are at some point.
I can't talk about it much right now. The redemption. Whew, the redemption to have for all those years that I was gone and all
Yeah.
of these cities and places without my family.
Mm.
And then to walk around a corner in the same city, different venue, bigger scale, and see my son, who, like you
Woo.
said, is not just lump on a log like this is the boss's boy or whatever else, but like to help him maneuver that and watch him
Yeah.
grow.
Yeah.
He's found a relationship on the road. So to
Yeah.
be a father, living, traveling, working with my son as he's living, working, and trying to figure out his own life and a relationship with his girlfriend, to be able to like see that the amount of time that I've been able to spend with him in the last 2 years because of Thorn, it's literally priceless. Like even if they called right now today and fired me, I'll be
Yeah.
like, all right, that sucks, but I got to do that. And
Yeah.
to have me in the position where that can even be a thing
Yeah.
is a gift. Is a gift, and to be telling the story of Christ with
Mm-hmm.
my son. We're not at some crazy thing where it's like, bro, we're able to minister together. We're at team
Yeah.
time together. We're at, it's a whole different ball game.
Dude, and it's just to see how I'm sure there's nights where you're on the bus or in the hotel or whatever, and you're just thinking about your journey.
Oh, dude.
And like, and you see how all these things that where you just plunged, you didn't
Mm-hmm.
overthink it. I think there's a lot to extract, especially for young people who are trying to
Yeah.
figure themselves out.
Mm-hmm.
Get in the pool and start flapping.
Dude.
Quit standing on the side of the pool and looking at it and saying, okay, is somebody gonna give me a book on swimming first before I jump
Yeah.
in? No, look at what Jon has done. Jon has said, you know what? I don't need a flipping book. Where we jumping? Okay, let's go. Because
Yeah.
I know, first of all, this is not an accident. So I'm here for a reason, and the resources and things that I need to know are going to be where you're taking me. So let me just jump, and everything I need is going to be in there.
Yep. Absolutely.
With humility, not arrogance,
Yep.
and a humbleness to say, you know what? And a self-awareness too. Like, you
Oh
know
yeah.
what?
That's 90% of it
That's
is
90%.
self-awareness for sure.
Like
100%.
I don't know most of this, but I'm a pretty quick learner and I'm
Uh-huh.
open and I want to learn. I'm looking for
Yeah.
people to teach me.
Totally, dude.
I love that, man. There's so much that young people can take, bro. Because I see it now. People get paralyzed by analyzing way too early.
For sure. Oh gosh. Yeah, there's no way. And you also, in this world, you got to be really careful about who you ask
Mm-hmm.
for opinions, permission,
Mm-hmm.
thoughts, because like my mom and dad, your
Mm-hmm.
mom and dad,
Mm-hmm.
it's a different thing. If I can't necessarily ask, not that I would now, but like even back then, talking to my mom and dad, that if I would have told them, "Hey, I think I'm gonna do this," they would have told me I was insane. Not because they don't believe in me, but because
Right.
that is so far outside of their wheelhouse as far as what they've done. And they're
Correct.
not even parents, friends of ours
Oh, my.
that like, oh, that's cool, you got a podcast, or oh, that's cool, you're on a TV show. Like that's neat. And it's like, yeah, it's awesome. Like you got no idea what it takes to put this together, let
Mhm.
alone a string of 10 good years that you want to spend the time with their person and figuring it out with two pennies to rub together.
Bro.
Like,
It, that's the thing, man. Like
yeah.
I will say this, man. You are an expert at making it happen.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
No, for real,
No,
dude. Not for real. Like I'm not even trying to be cheesy, funny, weird, nothing.
I
Like
got you.
you,
I
you
appreciate it.
like you are the dude that if I had to bet on, like, all right, who do I know that can make
Hmm,
it happen?
hmm.
And I don't have any details to offer other than
Right.
I need someone to go over there and make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm picking you all day long. All
Thanks,
day
bro.
long.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
Yeah, dude, because it's not even just the talent and the ability and the favor you have.
Hmm.
It's more importantly, it's your freaking attitude, bro. Like your
Hmm.
attitude is so positive, optimistic, realistic, all together,
Yes. Yep.
all together. You're not
Yep.
flighty by no
Nope.
means.
Nope.
It's positive, it's optimistic, it's realistic, and even when you hit obstacles, it's like you want to do better. You want to try harder.
Totally.
It hits this button like, okay, cool, that sucked. All right, what else we gonna do now? Like,
Yeah.
but it does. Challenges don't deter you, which is why you get the big stages. Because I'm sure in theater, I'm sure in TV, I'm sure in film,
Yeah.
challenges pop up from time to time.
Oh yeah. All day. And if Nashville, if I needed a resume to
Yeah.
get onto that show, no way. If
Uh,
if if what I listened to what my resume said
uh-huh.
or doesn't say, it's like there's no way I would have been qualified for that.
Yeah.
But I have faith in myself. I have belief in myself enough to at least know I'm gonna get in the room. To your point, I at least know I'm gonna get in the room,
Yep.
and I'm gonna realize real quick if I want to be in that room or if I need to figure out how to get out and go find another room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah, the power of the pivot is, and also, man, a lot of people, especially kids, they're scared to say I don't know.
Oh
And I love saying I don't know because it
man,
releases me from all responsibility and accountability.
Dude, isn't that the truth?
It is
It,
like I don't think I'm stupid. I don't think I'm less than. If I don't know something,
I don't
it's
know.
because I haven't been taught it yet. I haven't
Yeah.
had to know it.
And let me, you know what? If the situation makes sense, like, okay, I don't know it all, but you know
Yep.
what? Let me see if I can find the answer. Let me see if I can find the way, the
Always.
solution.
Yeah, I don't
That,
know doesn't mean I don't care. I'm not going to find out. I don't
oh, I'm not
know
gonna try.
means, oh, dope. I got something to do today.
Right.
I'm gonna
Like I
go
remember
find
there was a
out.
project, like to your point, there was a project, I can't remember exactly what genre it was, but somebody asked us to do something and we looked at each other knowing daggone well we had never done it before.
Totally.
And we were like, yeah, so you know what? We'll figure it
Yeah.
out. We'll
Yeah.
figure it
Yeah.
out.
We're in.
We're in. Let's do it. Okay,
Because
cool.
yeah, because worst thing we're gonna do is fail our way through it and then go,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Well, we ain't gotta do that again. Like that
Right.
that ain't gonna work.
Exactly.
And I say fail very lightly. There failure, it's all cliche, but like failure is a perspective.
Hmm.
If you look at it like it's a failure, did you no good, you got nothing out of it, that's your choice. Or you can
Yeah.
go, dude, I learned a ton of ways how not to do it.
Some of the coolest things that we've done together, and I'm sure the things you've done in other environments, have been a result of a previous failure, right? Like you mess up or you figure out this thing sucks,
Totally.
and then you're like now you're trying not to mess up the way you did before, but they actually
Yep.
create something very cool, and you're like,
Yep.
wait a minute, what was that?
Yes.
Right? And you're like, well,
Absolutely.
let's do that. But if I hadn't failed
Yeah.
20 times over,
Yep.
and not sulked in it, just say, okay, yep, I mean, that's the thing. I love how light you are about things. Like you take yourself seriously, but you don't take yourself seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
you do and you don't. Like you don't beat yourself up because, well, bombed on that one and you keep it moving.
Totally. That sucked. Sweet.
Yeah. Yep. It's like, all
Yeah.
right, what are we gonna do now?
Yeah. Yeah,
There's a
for
lot
sure.
to say for that. I think adults, but especially kids, man, because they're just different now with the mentality of I've got to be perfect.
Bro.
Yeah,
And I gotta be perfect today.
today, right? And there's no appreciation for the process. and
Yeah.
for the grit. And that's one
Yep.
thing that I can say that our kids will have just by osmosis being around us
Yeah,
is
man, for sure.
that daggum grit.
Yeah.
There's that grit. And
It will get you places and get you through things get you through places you might not have should have been, and get you through and get you into places that you probably shouldn't be either, but you need to be there.
right. Dude, I
Um,
love this, man. There's so much to extract because, and I knew we would be all over the place. That's because how our
yeah,
lives are. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I mean, this could be a music podcast. It could be a just a perseverance podcast. It could
Yeah,
be all
family
types of
path, all that. Yeah,
like I
for
don't even
sure.
know what to call this daggum thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because there's so many, and I knew it would be this way. But it's
yeah,
so I think it's great for those who know you already to hear all these different layers of Jon Hartman,
hmm yeah,
right? It's great for those individuals. Heck, me too. I just learned some new things today. Like I knew I would, because
yeah,
there's so many layers to you.
yeah.
But it's also great for those who may not know you
hmm
and they say, I don't know who this dude is, but man, he is speaking to me.
Good.
Like where did he get that oomph from? So if you had one thing to offer to the audience, where does that come from, man? Like what that willingness to not stop and do it with a smile, even when you might be hurting. Where do you get that from, man?
It's that's a good question. It's oof, it's the long game,
Mm,
and knowing if I really believe what I believe, that He makes all things for my good and your good and everybody's good. I'm okay with things not going exactly how I want them to today, this year, for the next 5 years, the next 10 years, because I know it's coming.
mm,
And its chances are great. It's not going to be what I think it is or should be,
mhm,
but it's going to be so much greater because it's going to be the gift that God's given me, and all of these pieces. Everything is connected, which again sounds cliche and like weird, but it's like nothing is a loss if you're
mm,
following Christ and you're just moving forward. Because at the end of the day, bro, I could be dead in an hour.
yeah,
So like, what am I planning for other than today? And
yeah,
so, but it is also at that same time looking at that long game and knowing that if it didn't happen now, there's reasons why, and now it's my job to go out and find the reasons why I didn't get that at this particular time and keep going. And it's a big power of the pivot.
yeah,
And
yeah.
now, bro, in today's world, imagine what me and you could have done with everything that's out there now, with case,
Man,
with
oh,
anything, with
man,
anything. So I don't know if I
yeah.
answered that
No, you
that
did.
well, but
No,
it's
you
like
answered it beautifully.
you gotta be self-aware. You have to discern that three people in a room and you're one of them, but this guy's talking to that guy and asks a question to that guy, even if you know the answer, it might not be the best time to show that answer. But you
Mm,
got to use that discernment to go, I'm not being talked to right now, not in like a downtrodden way or anything, but like that's not why I'm here. I'm this guy right now. I'm that guy, and making it all work.
mm,
Uh, in whatever setting you are, don't be scared to say, I don't know.
mm,
Can you teach me?
mm.
Because honestly, bro, you say that to somebody, I don't know. Can you teach me? If they give you any other answer other than yes, they don't want you to win anyway.
Bro, that is so good. So true.
Right?
So true.
If I
So,
come to you, Mondo, say, man, I don't know how to do that. Can you help me? And you did, bro. Almost everything I know in logic, it got from me just sitting behind you watching and
mhm,
doing this and doing that. So it's
yeah.
like, I said, I don't know how to do this. Can you help? It's like, yeah, here you go. Just watch this and do this. Give me some files and mess around and vocal edits. And like,
Mhm.
I would use that an hour before we talked. I was in here just jamming around on stuff.
Hey,
So if you ask people you say, I don't know, can you teach me? Can you help me? And if
yeah.
they say anything other than yes, you are in the wrong place.
Whoo, boy, oh boy. I
Because
have
that guy don't want you to win then. He's not gonna want you to win later.
Man, it's so crazy you said that because I had a conversation about that literally about 4 hours ago.
Mm. It's true, man. It's like somebody comes to me and asks me for help. If I say anything other than yes or give them something,
Yeah.
I'm doing them a disservice. I feel like an a-hole because I man, I want to
Right.
help you. I want to do this.
Right.
But
Right.
you know dang well, man, there's so many people out there that do not want you to win.
Yeah.
They say it, they try to set you up
Yep.
until, but dude, so
It's so crazy, man. And we'll end on this. You know, I resonate so much with that.
yeah,
I had that conversation earlier, and you know, man, what I love about what you've been able to do is that you have respectful blinders on when you sense that haterade, if you will. You know what I
yeah,
mean? If you don't do anything about it, you just other than just keep it moving. You just
yeah.
and that helps me even now because as you said earlier, you know, somebody may be like, man, you got a podcast, Mondo, you're doing this, or John, you're doing
All
this.
right,
And I got that call today. Why are you doing this? And it's the same person I asked for help not too long ago on
there
something.
you go.
And it's like, why are you doing this? And never answered me on would like I asked, would you help? Never got an answer. So that's a no.
Right, right.
But then all the questions about why I'm doing this, why I'm doing that, I'm like, wow, people really know how to identify themselves.
Yeah,
And it's like, okay, cool. So let me put the J Hartman blinders on and just keep it moving, keep it trucking.
keep going. I mean, they're drinking. I'll say it like this: They're drinking haterade. I'm drinking truth, and truth is 100 proof.
Yes, it is.
It tops everything, man. Proof
Yep.
is in the pudding, man. You do
Yep.
it. You put your podcast out.
Yep.
What's anybody gonna say? Anything they can say is either gonna be encouragement or it's gonna be hater. And it's
That's
like
it.
it is what it is. And that being in the right place, that's kind of where I am now. Is
Mhm.
I've started this thing called Pig and Pearl,
Okay.
which is a content creation company from stage to screen, idea stage screen. And the Pig and Pearl, Matthew 7:6, do not cast your pearls amongst the swine. It will be trampled. It will not be appreciated.
Ooh, this is
So
good.
make sure that your pearl, whatever that is, your
Yeah.
smile, your personality, your career,
Mhm.
make sure that you are being appreciated wherever you are.
Yeah.
And also, you can't waste your time trying to convince other people of how great your pearl is. If they don't
Hmm.
see it, if they won't see it, they don't want to see it.
You don't
They're
have to, you
never
shouldn't have
going
to
to see
convince
it.
people. Yeah, you shouldn't have to convince people how
Nah,
awesome your pearl is.
let
No, no.
somebody go, man, that dude's dope. I want to be with that guy. I want to hang out. Let's go
Yeah.
do this. Let's go do that. Like,
Yeah.
cool. Be celebrated. Don't be tolerated. Like,
Mm.
wherever you're going, man, just make sure that you're that again that pearl is taken care of because you take a pearl in a pig pen, it means literally nothing. It's got no value. It's just lost
True.
in everything. But you
True.
put that pearl up in a nice little setting or in a jewelry store, and it's worth everything.
Yep. Yep. Man,
So,
this Jay, this is so good, man. So I'm gonna make an attempt right now
all
to,
right,
as we close out, I'm going to tell everyone about my boy Jay Hartman. He is Forrest Gump 2.0. He is a man of God. He is a father. He is a
mm,
husband. He is a musician. He's a singer. He's a songwriter. He's a
mm,
film producer. He's a TV
yeah,
producer. He is a stage producer. He is the businessman, the entrepreneur, and probably 10 other hats I completely forgot about, and he probably has too. So, so man, Jay,
I'm
thank you
trying.
so much, dude. I mean, I love you dearly. You know that you my guy. I appreciate you and Claudia and your family so much. Just what you guys have meant to the Grimes crew over the
Right
years.
back at you, bro. Right back at the
And
Grimes for the Hardmans.
yeah, man.
Time is great.
Yeah, we're fans of you, and I love what you're doing, man. You keep killing it, doing what you do, man. So again, we're gonna use this opportunity to promote Thorn. You guys are going back on tour when?
Yeah, we start September 19th in Louisville, Kentucky. We'll be all over the Midwest and Northeast,
All right.
all over that. Starting spring of 26,
Yep.
we will be Texas, and I'll be seeing you. We'll be all down in Florida
Again, okay, cool. Bet.
for
Awesome.
forever. Like I think we're at Orlando for like 4 more days, Miami for 4. Like
Oh, nice.
it
Oh,
stacks
you be
up.
chilling. Yeah, you be
Yeah, yeah,
chilling.
yeah. Let's go, let's go.
Love it.
The next part 2 podcast we got to do is Sprocket Rocket.
I forgot about
Or not.
Oh,
Maybe that's we'll see what the people want. But I'm
yeah, we'll see what
telling
the
you,
people want. That's a whole other thing, man. And shout out to our guy Emmett, man, in the Sprocket
uh,
Rocket. Yeah,
red
dude.
light.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Oh, totally forgot about that Jamie Jam. Oh, that was epic. So, but good stuff, man. We'll let
Yeah,
you
dude.
roll. Thank you again for joining us. Hey guys, AMG Podcast. Thank you for joining. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. Stay tuned on everything we've got going on. If you need help, reach out to us. You need assistance with your finances, we can definitely help you with that too. Give you some advice, point you in the right direction, or maybe even help you ourselves. All right. So with that said, we love you, appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next episode. Later.